Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where a corrupt and tyrannical police officer unlawfully pepper sprayed a complainant man while he was handcuffed in the back of a patrol vehicle and shut all the doors afterward, causing the man to suffocate inside. On January 10, 2019, the Memphis Police Department received a 911 call from a gas station clerk who complained about a man vandalizing the store, breaking shelves and throwing items around. Upon receiving this complaint, dispatchers informed officers around the area to respond, and soon enough, Officer William Skelton pulled into the Shell gas station on Airways Boulevard where he made contact with the accused, 30-year-old Drew Thomas. The entire incident was captured on body cam. Let's begin watching.
Not now. Come on. You're under arrest. I said you're under arrest, motherfucker. Get the fuck over here. Get your motherfuckers over here. Hands on the car. Hands on the car, kid.
Oh, I ain't doing nothing. You just dealt with me, man. I ain't doing nothing. I got brown dough. Keep your hands.
Right off the bat, there are countless red flags we can point out during the encounter. The very first thing that comes to mind is how quickly Officer Skelton pulled up to the gas station, jumped out of his patrol vehicle, and arrested Mr. Thomas. Bear in mind that no investigation was conducted to basically verify whether Mr. Thomas had actually vandalized the store or not. It's no surprise that law enforcement officials bear the important responsibility of conducting thorough investigations and questioning prior to placing anyone under arrest. Unlike detention, an arrest involves taking a suspect into police custody, where the suspect is not free to leave after a period of time. In addition, an arrest requires probable cause, which is more difficult to prove than reasonable suspicion. Probable cause exists when facts and circumstances within the police officer's knowledge would lead a reasonable person to believe that the suspect is involved in criminal activity. Probable cause can't be established merely by suspicion. Now, if we look at the scenario, the only reason Officer Skelton responded was because of the 911 call, and if a mere word of mouth is enough to blindly arrest someone without verifying the facts, that means anyone could accuse any other person of any crime and theoretically have them arrested even if they didn't do anything wrong. This is why Officer Skelton's approach was certainly unprofessional, as he should have first detained Mr. Thomas to get his side, then spoken to the 911 complainant, and then made a choice based on those conversations. Importantly, we must point out the disgusting, derogatory, and disrespectful attitude that Officer Skelton displayed while dealing with Mr. Thomas, who did not resist or fail to comply even for a second. Mr. Thomas was very conveniently following Officer Skelton's orders, but still faced an unprofessional and poor demeanor. This continues even further. Let's watch.
On the hood.
I got a lot of them. Really big. Walk away. Look at my bum. I didn't do nothing, man. I was trying to go to work
Have you ever even had a real job?
downtown.
Okay. Yeah, you about to have some work downtown. Hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Hang on to those for me, please. This way.
Where we going?
Jail.
For what?
Vandalism.
What I been?
The inside of the store.
What I do?
You vandalized the inside of the store. Sit.
Oh, I did. I bought some coffee.
Good. Sit.
Am I heavy?
No, sit.
Why not?
Because I said so. Put your feet in. Eat a dick, motherfucker.
As seen and heard in the footage, Officer Skelton not only cussed at Mr. Thomas for no reason, but also used slurs against him, even disrespecting him by asking him if he had a real job. All these actions were obviously demeaning and unwarranted. It makes one wonder why Officer Skelton escalated the situation in this manner. It's almost as if there was a bias, and Officer Skelton had already pre-assumed that Mr. Thomas was a criminal who must go to jail. The thing is, even though Mr. Thomas did cause an issue at the gas station, he still had the right to be treated with respect and dignity. This also comes from the Memphis Police Department's About page, which highlights its mission, vision, values, and goal. The mission of the Memphis Police Department is to reduce crime by providing quality public safety in partnership with our community. We strive to be a best-in-class leader in policing by continually improving our people, processes, technology, and services to our community. Professionalism, a commitment to consistently achieve high job performance standards while in public and privately. Integrity, demonstrating high moral and ethical principles at all times. Collaboration, striving for excellence by working collectively with our internal and external stakeholders, partners to solve problems. Accountability, fulfilling our responsibilities by doing what is expected in all situations. Our vision is for Memphis to be recognized for zero tolerance for crimes, as well as its compassion and responsiveness to the needs, rights, and expectations of all its citizens. The Memphis Police Department continues to make great progress in providing safe environments for the citizens of Memphis while developing strong partnerships within the community. All of this was totally contradictory to Officer Skelton's attitude in this encounter with Mr. Thomas, but things continued to get worse, as you will see.
Lobotomy sounding nicer, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. Sure is.
We need the rip hop this we can rip hop.
No.
Are you sure?
Seven 1 male black in custody. Oh. Kick my car again, I'm gonna foam you. You understand me, kid? I will spray the out of you. You worthless piece of incestuous. I'm gonna stay out here, keep an eye on him. Suck my balls, kid. Come again?
I threw his matches away.
Clearly, the poor and unprofessional attitude continued, and the officers at the scene only now decided to go speak to the one who dialed 911. Let's not forget that this is something they should have done way before, at least way before blindly arresting Mr. Thomas. Also, Officer Skelton threatened to pepper spray Mr. Thomas for kicking around inside the patrol vehicle. Bear in mind that he was restrained in handcuffs at that point. It's understood that pepper spray is an irritating agent that can cause burning, pain, and temporary blindness when used on a person's eyes. It's used by law enforcement for detaining individuals, as well as attempting to suppress crowds. While some courts have found that the use of pepper spray can constitute excessive force, courts are divided on that issue, as well as whether officers who use pepper spray are entitled to qualified immunity. A very good example is given in Vineyard v. Wilson. Officers arrested the plaintiff, and while she was in the back of the police car, she went on a verbal tirade against the arresting officers. Despite being handcuffed and posing no threat to the officers pulled over, and one officer opened the back door, grabbed the plaintiff, and used pepper spray on her. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit did note that pepper spray can be a very reasonable alternative to escalating a physical struggle with an arrestee. However, the court also asserted that courts have consistently concluded that using pepper spray is excessive force in cases where crime is a minor infraction. The arrestee surrenders, is secured, and is not acting violently, and there is no threat to the officers or anyone else. Since the plaintiff was already secured, handcuffed, and in the back of the police cruiser, the court found that the use of pepper spray was an unreasonable use of excessive force and a violation of the plaintiff's constitutional rights. Do keep this example in mind, as it will now resonate very closely with Mr. Thomas's situation.
I told him I was going to spray him. Seven 7-4. Suspect's kicking my car door. I am deploying my pepper foam. I'm trying. don't think so. Anybody got a rip hobble? Mine seems to be missing.
I got a rip hobble.
Okay. (774). Suspect appears to have calmed down. We're securing the rip hobble now.
Hey, Skeleton, I haven't rip hobbled somebody in a long time. I know you just hangs at the door.
Yeah.
I'll hold him on the other side.
Good luck.
Lock it.
No.
You kick me, you get it again.
No, sir. May you let the window down.
For you? Hell no. Not after that. You gonna make me have to treat you like that after I tried to be good to you the first time, tried to take you somewhere to get you some help, then you gonna make me be an asshole and now you gonna ask me for a favor? I don't think so. (774) rip hobble secure. You want me to roll the window down? I probably should.
He was calling you sir at the end of that, though.
Yeah, he was. He was.
You just gotta have pressure with him, then it'll calm down. By doing that, it'll calm down now.
I hope so. We'll get some overtime out of this,
I've never
gentlemen.
seen someone spray someone before.
It's the first time I've used the phone.
I bet that's still like a mother.
I hope so.
As outrageous as it sounds, Officer Skelton, out of pure tyranny, sprayed the inside of his patrol vehicle with his pepper foam while aiming it at Mr. Thomas. He didn't spray Mr. Thomas once, not twice, but several times from both sides of the car. Even though this already sounds very bad, it's even worse when you consider the fact that Mr. Thomas was already restrained in handcuffs in the back seat of a locked patrol vehicle, and he wasn't a threat to a single person on Earth. Even if he had indeed committed a crime, such excessive use of force still wouldn't be justified because it was clearly retaliatory. And to make things even worse, Officer Skelton immediately shut the doors after spraying Mr. Thomas and even refused to roll the windows down for him after he rightfully requested that. In simple words, Officer Skelton wanted Mr. Thomas to essentially suffocate in the patrol vehicle. This was literally torture. Note that pepper spray, or oleoresin capsicum, is an organic extract of the cayenne pepper plant that can stop most subjects cold by temporarily blinding them, creating a burning sensation in the eyes and skin, and often affecting breathing. This proves how pointless this use of force against Mr. Thomas was because Officer Skelton definitely didn't want to achieve what the pepper spray was made for. Plus, spraying him in an enclosed area was even worse. He's audibly coughing at one point ahead.
You got enough for a felony?
Yeah.
Good. Did you hear all that on the radio?
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I've never been more proud.
Oh, well, thank you. Never? I phoned him.
Good.
Got both of us
Phone,
on camera,
I phoned the f*** out of him.
I'm gonna have my day on that.
That's fine. I phoned the f*** out of him. I'll tell the camera I phoned the f*** out of him. I told him I was gonna phone the f*** out of him.
And then he started kicking again. I'm like, you gonna do it? He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, oh, here we go.
He kicked the door. I said, you do it again, I'm gonna phone you. He did it again, so I phoned him.
Okay. Fine with me.
We ripped top of his head.
Yeah, and he's rip hobbled now.
Oh, you got his name and stuff?
Oh yeah, Biddick's working on the ticket right now. I told him.
You did give him a fair warning.
Yeah, when he started kicking, I turned my
Oh, here,
body cam
sorry.
on. Right then, I was like, oh.
Oh, is it on? It's on. It's on.
The ambulance coming?
Yeah. 774. We do have ambulance en route. Check.
I wasn't officially on scene. Just rough back there. Just be old.
I told him.
You didn't get he licked on you, did you?
I don't think so. I started.
I held him, but I would have got devastated.
I started to smell it there for a second.
I would have got devastated if I held him.
All right, down. Why you get sprayed? Huh? Were you kicking? Did he tell you stop kicking? I didn't hear you. Were you kicking? Where you stop?
So, do you need my explanation for the arrest ticket? No. Okay.
What are you charging him with? Tell me these.
Okay. He says he's got enough for felony vandalism.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't make it happen.
Sounds good.
As well as disorderly, and he's actually barred from here. He's on the
Do ag trespass.
trespass.
Yeah, do ag trespass.
So we are for sure gonna have a felony on this thing? He's not still kicking it.
No, he's just wiggling. Phone's doing its work.
I mean, I haven't. We got more pepper spray.
I know. We can always pepper spray again if we need to. You gonna make me spray you again?
We've just witnessed a bunch of officers laughing about what happened, making jokes and even deciding what to charge Mr. Thomas with. At one point, the tyranny becomes clear as day because we hear a couple of officers audibly getting happy at the fact that they can charge Mr. Thomas with a felony. Paramedics finally arrive at the scene and realize how bad the situation was for Mr. Thomas. He's heard begging for help after technically being enclosed in a pepper-filled box of metal.
But I'm not taking him if he's violent.
Are you gonna let the paramedics take a look at you or no? You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I mean, it's gonna hurt when I wash him out, but it's gonna sting worse.
All right, come on.
Ultimately, an investigation into this incident was launched by the Memphis Police Inspectional Services Bureau. Officer Skelton was later charged with violating the department's excessive force policy because, as Thomas was handcuffed and seated in the back of a car posing no threat, Skelton sprayed him. Skelton was also charged with violating MPD's pepper spray policy, which cannot be used to prevent the destruction of property, and because Skelton did not help Thomas, finally Skelton was charged with violating the department's personal conduct policy. But the 8-year veteran resigned before his formal hearing. Two officers, Jonathan Sharman and Jonathan Haltman, were charged with violating MPD policy, but the charges were later dismissed. Both men remain on the force today. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter.